Honestly, me too. If that picked up, that's gonna be it.
Oi, Gov, welcome to the podcast.
We were committing to British accents, and now you just did that, and now I don't want to. Hi, welcome to the podcast.
That was the point. I can't do this anymore. Hi, podcast besties.
No, we're going to use that opening that you screamed.
Oh.
He choked on it.
PQRS.
A lot of things.
You know, if you just
Name
listen to episode 12, we're going back to back right now. So
Name
if you
them.
like the energy over there, then we have it here.
Name what?
Anyway, welcome to episode 13 of
What
Isn't
is
That
my
Odd?
naming?
Welcome to episode 13 of Isn't That Odd podcast.
Welcome to episode 13 of Isn't That Odd podcast.
Welcome to episode 13 of Isn't That Odd podcast.
We're your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Brianna.
I'm a special guest, Stasia.
I love how you wouldn't talk the last time, but
I
now
was trying to get into it. I'm sorry.
Now
I didn't know
she's
what
in
to
the
say.
groove.
yeah,
I
right.
didn't know what to say.
She's in the groove. This episode's definitely going to be a lot better.
This episode is sponsored by 11 years of friendship and me and Paul being trauma bonded
Yeah.
by the Red Store.
And now, me included.
Give the
Podcast idea. You should have Jocelyn come on the podcast one time and just see that dynamic of like my best friend and then your best
Wait,
friend.
we need another mic.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll have
Or
that
we
in a
can
future
share.
episode. Anyways,
Go back and... Oh! My mouth.
Oh.
she's about to choke on something. So, welcome
other
to,
things.
like I said, episode 13. We're your hosts. We already introduced ourselves. I don't know why I'm going to do this again. Today, we have some good stories for you lined up today on the podcast.
On the on the podcast that is today.
On the podcast.
That is today.
the
Episode
story
13 podcast.
that I have
today.
for you on episode 13 podcast today is
Isn't That Odd podcast?
paranormal.
True crime, conspiracy.
I'm sorry. I threw this whole thing off
stressed out,
today.
bro. I'm
Oh,
gonna
so
snap my
sorry.
laptop in half.
I thought you had the work computer for a second. I was like, it bends. that's a
Mine
MacBook. It
doesn't
does
bend.
not. It's a MacBook.
I had a really bad thought of showing you that it didn't bend.
Suddenly the
and then
podcast is canceled.
and then I'd be out of laptop. So yeah, today,
Are you screaming into the microphone?
I don't know. I think it's all of us.
All right. Well, I'm not, certainly.
So
Backs up. Anyway,
yeah, episode 12 was just all Brianna. This episode is going to be both of us again. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming. Ying, ying, ying.
my story today is going to be a true crime. What's yours?
I have a paranormal.
Okay. And Paul's going to go first, so the flow is yours, my dear.
Damn, you said we had enough fluff last time. We ain't doing nothing
Oh,
this
don't
time.
worry.
I'm over the fluff. Absolutely.
Only a little
floored
bit of
by it.
fluff in this one.
Have you ever had a BB on fluff?
Yeah.
This is New England. If you haven't, you don't live here.
It's called a fluffernutter.
Don't ever
Fluffernutter.
call it that. It's a peanut butter and fluff.
Stasia's from the hood. Stasia's actually not from the hood.
I'm really not. I'm very
Stasia's as...
white people neighborhood. If you don't know me, I am light skinned.
You're not light-skinned. I'm light-skinned. She's dark-skinned
I'm
compared to me.
the darker side of light skinned.
Yes. And Paul is just white.
Feels bad.
Pussy,
You know what
pussy,
else?
pussy, marijuana. Anyway.
You wanna talk about bad jokes, the ones you told not that long ago. Bad jokes. Debris
Offended
everywhere.
immediately.
Huh?
Debris everywhere.
Anywho's a rules.
Yeah, I don't feel like fluffing. Let's just go straight into the story.
Thank you. I bet.
What?
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Fluff.
Speaking of fluffing, you know the job being a fluffer? Do you know what that means?
I don't
For
know.
pillows? Okay.
No.
There was a squirrel in the house.
Let me put it this way. In the porn industry,
Oh.
there's a job called a fluffer.
What do they do?
Is it to make sure that
They essentially get the male actor ready and
That's what
just
I
keep
thought.
them
they have a pump probably?
keep them engaged
erect.
Sucks.
during
Say- call
scenes.
it what it's called. He's erect.
That sucks.
He's erecting a building.
What?
He's erecting a building.
Is he?
What does that mean? Okay.
We'll find out.
I'll believe you.
All right. So I'm just going to go into my story.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
all right.
All right.
I don't like it already. I actually don't want to go. You can go first.
I just spent 2 hours talking.
No, this is a whole different day and different episode.
Oh my god. Paul has a house that he keeps trying to put me in with 4 walls, and I keep breaking the 4th wall.
That was so corny. You could have just left out all that extra. And just
It's very
break
corny,
the
yeah.
fourth
But I'm
wall.
having a conversation with you, so it has to be extra corny because you are corny. You're a corn dog.
Have you ever had a corn dog?
I don't like corn dogs. I don't like hot dogs.
What are your thoughts on corn dogs?
I love corn dogs.
I'm sure you do. So,
You walked right into that one. You walked
so
right
sad.
into it. The doors were automatic.
I thought it was genuine.
It wasn't. I knew it wasn't. Anyway.
So what is the story about today, Paul? So what is the topic of the day?
paranormal.
Okay.
Let's crack into it.
Crack.
I can't focus.
Crack.
Say crack again.
Crack.
Crack? Crock. Nope. That's a crock of shit.
Crock pot.
I asked last episode if someone else wanted to be the co-host of this episode, but now I'm going to give you $20 if you accept my offer.
I will do it.
I'll take it.
Ew. They just got the creepiest smile. Why are you saying I'll do it? Like, I'm not trying to leave you.
Because I'll
Oh, I
go from
thought
this
Paul
mic
was
and jump to
leaving.
the next. Wait.
That's an idea. That's an idea, actually. I'll give somebody $20 to take Paul's spot.
50.
Why are you going up?
Make it 20 and I won't do it.
Or if they like went the opposite, it's like $5, take her to leave it.
When hinges creak.
Nice.
Just going straight unlubricated.
He's raw dogging it. Wait. Circling back. Business idea. What if we just made a 3-person podcast with no parameters and we just talked? Because that
I think that
seems like it'd be fun.
Or like
We've
a
been
separate
jumping
one.
Interesting
A
topic.
separate one from this one.
Yeah. So we'll keep this one as like topic based, and then we have another one.
If you want anything
That's
chaotic
hot topic based.
that comes off our brain.
I don't think we could do hot topic because I think it's a trademark. Unless we spell it like.
What if we did hot?
I was just gonna say
HAWT.
Yes, I was just gonna say.
Oh no.
No. It's HAWT space TO.
Or TAW.
Oh yeah.
Or just
That's where
hot
it's going.
goss?
GAW.
Like Ryan Gosling.
I don't find him attractive.
Whoa. Circling back, you don't think Ryan Gosling is attractive, but you just told me the other day that the lead singer of Imagine Dragons is attractive?
Yes.
Who is that?
A not attractive man.
Oh, he is. Wait, so you find Ryan Gosling attractive?
For a white man, yeah. I mean, white guys aren't usually my cup of tea. Stacey's Googling what he looks like.
No, I don't. It's so funny when
He's a lead singer?
Yeah.
people are like Ryan Gosling. If a man says they're obsessed with Ryan Gosling, you know they're straight. And I
I'm
That's
just going
Ryan
to tell you right
Reynolds.
now, absolutely not.
You're thinking of Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Gosling is the guy who's the lead actor of The Notebook, and Ryan Reynolds is married to Blake Lively.
There's too many of them.
There's literally 2 of them. They're just...
Ryan Gosling. I can't pull it past this. Sorry.
He's better than Ryan Reynolds. I'll give him that, but I'm still not.
I would agree with you on that, but I'm also saying
Obsessed.
that the guy from the Imagine Dragons is not attractive.
Out of
Am
the
I
3,
thinking of the right person?
he's the 3rd on the list. The guy from Imagine Dragons.
He's like 12th on my list. There's a lot of people.
There's
between
only
that.
3.
No, I'm saying out of the 3, he's 12th.
Oh, I mean, out of anyone, he's very low.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the right person.
I love that. you
Anyway,
hear
Paul,
little
what the fuck is your story?
clickety-clicks. Oh, right.
What did you say?
I love you can hear the little clickety clicks.
Yeah,
Sometimes
if you
I
listen
edit.
closely
Yeah,
on
sometimes
some
I edit them out, but
you can
sometimes
hear
I leave
the-
them so you can hear it.
He said,
So episode
it is the right person.
episode 10 that came out today when you talk about Dorothea Puento. I asked how old she is. and you're-
Puento?
I don't know.
Puente?
I have no idea what her last name is. Regardless, I'm like, how old is she? And you're like, And then she's like, type it. You're like, she is. You say how old she is. The floor is yours, my dear.
Thank you. That's all I was waiting for.
I'm done.
I love that he looked at you. He's like, are you done? Are you done?
Should I set the mood lighting?
I have nothing more to add.
No, I want you to fucking tell the story.
Yes, set the
okay.
mood, please.
No, shut up. Don't enable him.
I'm not appreciated here. Yeah?
What?
What if the person that's bidding is that customer you told about us?
I didn't tell any customer about us. That was Nor.
Nor told.
That was Nor. Nor plugged my own podcast, and I was like, fuck.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. If this is you, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I hope your Cape House is going great.
I've never met you.
You don't know who
I
I
hope your
am.
Cape House is really comfy with those mattresses.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, never mind.
From, yeah?
Weird questions.
What?
What?
I was going to be like Far Cape?
Like, how Cape are we talking? Are we talking like Barnstable or like P-Town?
Like Falmouth? Like, where are we going?
Are you done?
Hashtag ally.
Speak, Valentina. Ally.
All right. When
Henry Met Sally. Jesus Christ, that movie, When Henry Met Sally.
No, we're not
Never
going
heard
there.
of it.
When hinges creak in doorless chambers and strange and frightening sounds echo through the halls, whenever candlelights flicker where the air is deathly still, that is a time when ghosts are present, practicing their terror with ghoulish delight. For fun, do you know what is that from? What? For fun, do you know what that's from?
No, you
A
just started
scary
talking and I
movie.
blacked it out.
A scary movie of some kind?
Is it from the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
I knew it.
I love you.
He's predictable.
So great.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's a Disney movie.
He's a Disney movie?
It's a Disney movie.
Oh, no, I've
He's
seen
a Disney
it.
movie?
I just haven't seen it for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he is a Disney movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's from the Haunted Mansion, and honestly, I just
I
wanted
haven't
a
even
reason,
seen that movie. I just fucking knew it was from that.
It's a good movie. You should watch it.
I just wanted a reason to
Maybe I'll watch it one day.
I'll quit, and then we can send out the bonus episode.
Okay.
Go, Paul. I'm locked in.
I love how you're screaming at me like you guys didn't do this exact scenario to me so many
For
times.
2 hours?
Literally.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
I'm so over your shit today.
How many takes do you guys do sometimes?
None. We just do one and that's it.
damn.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like when you say things over and over. Like
We'll say it until he gets it. We say it until we get it.
I just wanted a reason to reference the Haunted Mansion because it's one of my favorites. When I go to Disney, it's the one ride I have to go on. No exceptions. The movie with Eddie Murphy is great, and honestly, they have a remake coming out soon that looks just as good. But when it comes down to it, why am I talking about the Haunted Mansion so much, huh?
Boogie Ghost.
Basically. So, well, great question. For my paranormal story today, I'm going to be talking about the true story of Sarah Winchester and the so-called Winchester Mansion that she built to bizarre specifications in order to appease the ghost she thought were haunting her. Yeah, I know. You probably know the story. Shut the fuck up.
I do.
You know who doesn't? Stasia.
True.
correct.
That's correct. That's actually.
So
This
it's not
works out
all
perfectly
lost.
fine, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should have her here most of the time because she won't know most
Actually,
of the stories.
no. This is gonna be like a once at a time thing until you guys cut the shit.
Because if I have to do one more story and Brianna's like, I know that one, I'm going to shoot myself.
Well, I tell you just so you know that I know it, so that way you're not like, why aren't you responding? Because you
Or
do
you
that
could just
when I
play
don't
along
respond.
like you don't know and pretend.
No, this is
No
this is very
satisfaction
authentic.
for you.
This is authentic. You're looking at me,
Before
but
I
the
get
wire to your thing is just like I can't take you seriously. You're like death staring me, and it's just like
Cutting my face in half. Before I get into the mansion, I'll give a little background on Sarah and who exactly she is. So, born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut, Sarah Winchester, or more well known around town as Sally, creative.
I don't think that's
Not really.
the nickname.
Stupid.
Sarah's short enough. You don't need another nickname for it.
She wants to go by Sally. They were on. Was
not
the
her
wife to
name.
William Wirt Winchester. During her youth, Sarah was born in a world of privilege and would be able to speak 4 languages, attend the best schools around, and eventually be married into money with William. In 1866, the couple gave birth to a little girl named Annie Pardee Winchester. Unfortunately, though, Annie would be diagnosed with marasmus and would only live for a month. I had to look up how to pronounce that because I was like, what?
You know, it's really funny. Sometimes I look up how to pronounce words, and then in the moment, my brain's like, and I'm just like, I think this is what this says.
For context, marasmus is a form of severe malnutrition that usually occurs in children. It sees body weight reduced to less than 62% of the normal expected body weight for the age and is commonly represented by a shrunken, wasted appearance with a loss of muscle mass and fat mass. So essentially, think of...
The pictures of those kids from underprivileged countries.
Yes.
So is it
you can
because
see
they
all
weren't
skin and
feeding her?
bones. Huh?
They weren't feeding her? Or
I
is it
think
just
so.
a condition that they get?
It's a little bit of both.
Why do they have all that money and they just didn't feed their baby?
Neglect.
So she deserved to get haunted. It's what she deserves.
Following Annie's death, tragedy would fall like dominoes as during 1880 to 1881, Sarah would lose her mother, father-in-law, and her husband, followed by her older sister in 1884.
It's what she deserves.
Oh.
The
So
aura's black.
Yeah. So additionally, around the time of her sister's death, Sarah would begin developing rheumatoid arthritis, and the direction of her doctor was to maybe go to a warmer and drier climate to help improve her health. However, Sarah didn't seem so convinced of what exactly to do and really needed some guidance.
Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay.
Oh, my God.
That's why I started laughing. It's the way you said it. I don't know what you said, but it reminded me of denial, and I just want to be like, denial. You should set the mood
Following
lighting,
William's
I can't
death-
see anything in here.
Huh?
You should do the mood lighting because I can't see anything in here.
Maybe that's a good thing. Following William's death in 1881, which is her husband,
That's
if we're going
homophobic.
back a little bit, Sarah would inherit roughly $20 million, which in today's terms, because I know Brianna will ask, is around $500 million,
That's why I held my face. I wouldn't say it.
as well as 50% of the Winchester Arms Company through the shares her husband had in the company, which, for context, the Winchester Arms Company was a prominent American manufacturer of, you guessed it, repeating firearms and ammunition. So that's where you get like the Winchester rifle. Great.
Mm-hmm.
So the shares alone would leave her with a continued income equal to about $1,000 a day, or in today's money, around $26,000 a day.
If I made $26,000 a day, I would do the dumbest things all the time.
That's what she did. So at this point, Sarah is
Clearly.
pretty lonely, which is sad, but also she's also pretty filthy.
It's
fucking
what she
rich.
deserves.
And she's also
for killing that
pretty
baby.
rich.
It's what she deserves.
Yeah. So like
Rich and bored.
win some, lose some. You know, you're lonely, but you have money. I'm convinced money can buy happiness if you do it right.
Me too. Mm-hmm. I think the
I would
saying
be.
is completely
I would
wrong.
be significantly less stressed if I had money.
Same. Anyways, now in possession of this new massive fortune and struggling with the loss of her husband, daughter, family members, and the news of her health problems, Sarah has practically hit a wall and needed a little bit of help. The help she turned to in this instance was that of a medium, because when I have issues, the first thing that I want to do is go straight to a psychic medium, right?
That's very accurate though, because sometimes you just have me read your tarot cards randomly. So
I
yeah.
mean, touche. Fair enough.
Same thing, different shape.
I guess. So Sarah had hoped that maybe, just maybe, getting advice from the beyond would help her see how exactly to spend her fortune and move on with her life at this point that is currently in shambles, sitting on top of a massive pile of money. Makes sense. Although the exact specifics of what her medium told her, you know, patient, medium, confidentiality.
I hate you.
I know. The legend is said that the medium was able to successfully channel the spirit of none other than William, her departed husband. Mm-hmm. William would go on to tell the medium to have Sarah leave her home in New Haven, Connecticut, and find her way west to California. A piece of advice her doctor also instructed her to do, if you remember a little while back. But who wants to listen to a doctor, you know?
Not me.
You should. In regard to what Sarah should do with her new fortune, William's spirit would go on to tell her to use that fortune to, you know, build a new home for the spirits of those who had fallen victim to the Winchester rifles. Or else she would just be haunted by those very spirits for the rest of her life. So it was either you build a brand new house for these spirits that died at the hand of these Winchester rifles, or they're just going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Good luck.
So who decided that these ghosts were assigned to her?
Yep.
The medium.
So William said, you inherit my... What? So
I don't
William... I don't either. William basically said, you inherit my shares from the Winchester Arms Company. You can appease the souls of those lost at the hands of my company, or, well, perish.
His ghost said that?
Good luck, babe. Yeah. So Sarah went to this medium. The medium
I wonder if the
channeled
medium
William.
just knew Sarah and was just like, this fucking bitch.
Yeah. And William, he apparently came through the medium and was just like, yeah, so the Winchester rifles killed all these people, and so you can just use that money to build them a house to, you know, appease their restless souls. Or if you don't, they're just going to haunt you for the rest of their life.
And she thought that was better than being...
Well, yeah, this is her husband talking to her, so she's going to follow her husband's
She's gonna
advice.
be lonely and bored.
One thing a man is not going to do is tell me what to do. All of a
Different
sudden,
times,
I'm
babe.
never going to build a house again.
Different times. Flash forward to 1884, Sarah would go on to purchase what would later be known as the Winchester Mystery House. When Sarah initially bought the property, it was merely a small, unfinished farmhouse, but it would not stay this way for long. Sarah would hire carpenters to work around the clock to take this small little house and turn it into a 7-story mansion. Due to the lack of a building plan, any sort of official blueprints, or even any sort of architectural vision, the house would come to be constructed haphazardly, so much so, some rooms were added onto exterior walls, which resulted in windows overlooking other rooms.
Do you know why floors to houses are called stories?
Why?
Oh, no, it's a question.
Oh.
Because you have to tell a story on it.
I don't want to know the answer anymore. Go ahead, keep going.
No, I want to know.
Okay, great.
No, I'm curious.
So yeah, essentially...
No, wait.
It was so poorly constructed that walls like this that should look into like the next room over were considered exterior walls and windows were put there. Mm-hmm. So you, just casual windows like looking into the living room instead of the outside.
You should direct your explanations that way. Direct your explanations that way.
Well, I'm just used, so I don't do this whole like...
Well, I'm just making sure because you're looking at me like being like, you understand? I'm like, no, I already knew that.
Okay, great. So within the house...
Okay, great. I'll go fuck myself.
Yep. Good plan. Within the house, multiple staircases would be added throughout. However, they would all have different sized risers, giving each staircase a bit of a distorted look. Additionally, some of the alterations Sarah would have done to the house were just downright pointless. Other staircases would be built to ascend several levels, but then just casually end.
Mm-hmm. And some of them would like just rise into the ceiling. There'd be no opening for you to walk into it. It's just the ceiling.
It would just be stairs. They would just end, or they would just go to the top, like she said. It would just be ceiling, so you could just climb. I guess
it's not made to make sense to like people that are alive.
Is it for ghosts to go through the floor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's basically just to confuse them.
Right.
Stupid.
Other stair... Oh. What?
She said stupid.
Oh.
Stasia's upset.
Doors would open to solid walls. Surprise, you're just not going to go anywhere. So it's like
That
open
would-
the door and be like, hi.
That would make me irrationally angry.
Same.
Imagine just having
This makes me want to get a Winchester rifle and shooter.
Anyway, remember yesterday when we were both at work and we were having such real bad anxiety and you were getting angry because of your anxiety? That would be me if I opened a door and there was a wall there.
What would send me through is even the hallways where you would turn a corner would just turn to a dead end.
Mm-hmm. That would fucking... Imagine forgetting everything because I'm so forgetful. Imagine just being like, oh, fuck, this is the hallway that leads to the bathroom. I'm going to piss my pants. Wall.
Or you're just... You're coming...
Maybe
You're
this
coming
door...
home from a bad
maybe
day
this
at
door
work.
would give me a circle around and I can go back around, open it, wall.
Bro,
And my silly little life right there in the hall.
A seven-story mansion.
Yeah.
And this just happens all the time.
Imagine jumping out a window and it goes into the next room.
I can't take it anymore. It jumps out and you land on the sofa.
Oh, that would send me
Bro,
spiraling.
if I had a really bad day at work, like back at the Red store, and I would come home and I was just hating my life, and I went to like walk up to my room and I took the wrong turn and I went down a hallway and it was just a wall and I couldn't go anywhere, that'd be it.
Yeah.
My head through the wall, my life gone.
Your head through the wall, onto a couch. Keep going.
Anyways,
We're having fun. We have fun here.
one request of Sarah during all this construction was for the home to be built exclusively out of redwood, but to no surprise, she ended up not liking the look of the wood after all.
Shocker.
It would insist it be covered with a stain in faux grain.
I thought you were going to say... Never mind.
By the time the entire house was complete and all of the wood use was covered, it was estimated that a total of 20,000 gallons of paint was used.
Was it lead paint?
Probably.
I
So
hope
she could
so.
inhale it?
In the 1800s?
So she could inhale it.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And become another one of the ghosts in the house.
Right. However, come the turn of the century, Sarah Winchester would have the house of her ghost dreams, which would turn out to be an oddly laid out mansion with 7 stories, 161 rooms, 47 fireplaces, 10,000 panes of glass, 2 basements, 3 elevators, and a mysterious funhouse-like interior.
Wait, how many fireplaces?
47.
47 places set my head on fire.
They probably didn't even work.
They would work.
Now that I think about it, that's not even enough rooms for the ghost.
Wait, how many rooms is it?
161.
Hold on, wait. 7 stories, 161 rooms. That, I feel like a lot of the rooms are too big.
Give me 1 second.
You had your second, it's over.
When it comes to the interior...
That is approximately 23 rooms per floor.
Well, when most doors go into like wall, yeah, I believe it.
Stupid.
Yeah.
When it comes to the interior, Sarah certainly spent her money, honey.
Is that the sentence?
Yep.
That's what you wrote?
Yep.
You typed that out?
Yep.
And you reread it?
Yep.
And then you approved it?
Yep.
And then you just said it?
Yep.
All right.
Why was the pause so long?
Because I just didn't want to say honey, but I committed to it anyway.
Why was that me with the Taylor's version joke the other day? I said, his reputation, Taylor's version. And Paul was like, oh my fucking...
Gold and silver chandeliers were hung from the ceiling with dozens of stained glass windows created by Tiffany & Co. all around the home, including even some windows designed by Louis Comfort Tiffany himself. Yes.
That's not going to be the only thing hanging from the ceiling, am I right?
Not if I ran into one of those fucking doors and came to a wall. So one window in particular that can be highlighted is one that was intended to create a prismatic rainbow effect on the floor when, light would hit it. Something that would be beautiful, you would think. Well, as we found out earlier, the design of the walls was absolutely atrocious. So this
absolutely atrocious. I love that.
This wall was an interior wall and not the one that led outside like intended. So the effect would just never be achieved as intended. So just imagine I put a rainbow stained glass window on that wall instead of right here.
So my question is, now that you're explaining this, because I do know the story, but I didn't know the details off the top of my head. Was her contractor a fucking idiot? Was he just stupid or was he drunk?
Both of them.
Were they stupid or were they drunk?
Because she asked for this.
When it comes down to it, if that's what they're asking, I'm going to just do it that way. And I'm going to say, whatever.
And you would do it too for a check.
Exactly.
And I was going to get Employee of the Month. That's not period.
He's there for a check. And that's all.
Me too, man.
So she wants a staircase that leads to nowhere. She's getting a staircase that leads to nowhere.
My butt is so numb sitting in this chair.
Great. A feature even more luxurious. Huh?
Did you just hiccup into the mic? Okay.
Feature even more luxurious than the chandeliers in windows.
The luxurious effect.
A feature even more luxurious than the chandeliers in the windows was the addition of plumbing and electrical work.
Whoa. Did you just say that plumbing and electrical work was...
One more time?
Did you say it was luxurious?
Yeah, this is the very beginning of the 1900s.
Right.
End of the 1800s.
Right.
Yeah. This was all something that was rare for the time, and this mansion boasted indoor This was all something that was rare for the time, and this mansion boasted indoor plumbing with... I'm so flustered.
I'm blacking out.
This was all something that was rare for the time, and this mansion boasted indoor plumbing with running hot water and push-button gas lighting, not oil lights, that was available throughout the whole house, even forced heating throughout the home as well. These are all standard things we have in homes today, so it's crazy to think these were basic amenities were a rarity at one point.
True.
While this home is one for the books, naturally, disaster would strike, and in 1904, an earthquake hit San Jose, California, where the mansion was located.
People who live in California are crazy.
And the mansion got struck with hefty damages.
Right on
San Andreas
the line.
Fault.
Yeah, right on the line, and they're like, I'm going to set up shop right on this beach.
Pass.
Crazy.
While the foundation was solid and the whole house was seemingly saved, the top 3 floors would be removed, leaving the 7-story mansion to be a measly 4 stories, as it's seen today.
A measly 4 stories.
That sucks.
I live in a 600 square foot apartment.
60 rooms.
Honestly, they're probably just like sealed boxes that you just can't get into.
Yes. They're for the ghosts.
Yep.
They're not meant for us, for the ghosts. So the ghosts just go through the wall. And
I'm sure at least...
Oh, imagine the ghost just walking in there like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we got killed by this fucking rifle, and this is the reparations that I get? Is this fucking dog shit of a house? They're just standing there like, look at the stairs. They're like, this door? A wall?
But they can go through walls.
They can also open doors.
There's probably a room behind that wall.
That would be me as a ghost. I would be talking so much shit. I'd be walking around like, this dumb fucking bitch.
With the house as strange and a woman that appeared just as strange, rumors would swirl, of course.
The way you're saying just, I want to be like, Jesse?
And the theories would be all over the place. Sarah herself never confirmed that she was building this haunted mansion, nor did she ever do any interviews or write any journals to really show us the why behind everything she was doing.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I was like, what do you mean confirm? You can clearly see her building this mansion, but I get it. You mean the reason behind it. I just need the clarification.
It said contractors that worked on the house would report that Sarah had daily seances with local mediums in an effort to reach the good spirits. These so-called good spirits were the ones she reportedly consulted to find out the best ways to appease the spirits that she was supposedly building the house for.
They were just fucking with her. You know that, right?
For sure.
The spirits, like, they were just like, yeah, tell her to add another fucking room.
Yeah. You know, it would be funny. Yeah, tell her to do this. Yeah.
They're like, add a staircase. She fucking did it. She fucking did it.
Yo, she'll do some dumb shit. Tell her to do this next.
Oh, she did it.
Teleported hallway with a fucking end to it. Yeah.
So it was us. It was actually us
Yes,
doing it. Okay, got
exactly.
it. It was us as a ghost.
So Sarah was basically using these mediums to have the spirits instruct her on how to build the house, what to do, and really, they just acted as her architects and interior designers, it seems. It didn't seem like Sarah was in the driver's seat. She was merely the middleman between the spirits William instructed her to make the mansion for and the contractors she hired. Even after the mansion was completed, Sarah reportedly continued to find ways to appease the victim's spirits. She apparently would sleep in different rooms every night in the mansion and use secret passageways to get her from room to room in a bid to make sure no spirits could follow her.
I feel like that's stupid.
Additionally, out of the 13 bathrooms she had constructed in the mansion, only one was functional.
And 7 stories, or are we at 4 stories? Because you said it was 7 and then it was 4.
This is the 7.
7 stories in 1 bathroom. That bitch smelled really bad.
No, sorry, this is 4.
Still,
is after the
4
other
stories, 1
yeah.
bathroom. She smelled bad.
That way she can confuse any ghost trying to, keep that water running as a prank and run up that water bill.
She's building a big house and she's concerned about the water bill.
That was mostly just me.
Oh, okay.
Her too. After Sarah's death in 1922, her sister Marion would inherit the mansion, but appraisers would deem the house worthless due to its design, the damage it took on from the earthquake, and just the long-winded construction it endured. Marion would take everything inside and auction it off, and just 5 months after Sarah passed, a local investor would purchase the property for only $135,000.
I thought you were going to say, just 100, not 1,000. I was like, same.
And soon open up to the public for tours, where it continues to serve today. The mansion has been an inspiration for a slew of pop culture medias and, as would be expected, a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors to the mansion would report the feelings of spirits and noises along their tours, but sadly for paranormal investigators that go and try to capture these happenings in real time, end up shorthanded with no concrete evidence. Evidence?
I didn't want to do it.
With no concrete evidence.
Primrose Everdeen.
All in all, in the end, Sarah did not craft this house to be a place for the restless dead. And with 999 happy haunts there, I'm sure there's room for one more. Any volunteers?
Yes.
That was also another Haunted Mansion reference.
Oh.
And I wanted to just piss through that because I mentally can't take it.
Piss.
That's my story. That's it. Bye.
And it's all true.
So yeah, this crazy bitch just built an entire fucking funhouse for ghosts. Not even for herself. She said, I have all this money, $500 million in money. I'm going to just build it for ghosts. Why not?
I think she went insane after her entire family died.
Fair.
To be honest,
her
though, I
husband
still
died,
can't
her
get over the
sister-
baby. I can't get over the baby. She got what she deserved. Karma.
I feel that. But yeah, I thought that was a fun little...
I did love that. I do love that, the whole premise of it.
Is there anything you knew that I didn't cover on?
No.
Love that. I'm fucking good at my job.
Well, I knew of the house, and I knew it was because of the rifle, why she felt the need to do it. And then I knew obviously the house was crazy, and but all the crazy things about it. But the numbers, obviously I wouldn't know those off the top of my head. So those are the only things that I didn't really know of, how many stories it was, how many rooms it was, all that kind of stuff.
And she really put fucking money into it because she had shit from Tiffany & Co. Just casually.
I know, but when you have that
pieces.
much stupid money, you can Jeffrey fucking Bezos could probably do that today, and it would just be a fucking meme. A meme, if you
I
will.
really wish I was rich because if I was rich, I wouldn't live like I was rich.
Huh?
If I was rich, I wouldn't live like I was rich.
Clearly
my house would be a little bit bigger, but there'd be no reason I would ever craft a fucking mansion because one, anxiety. Because if I'm on the left wing, who's to say no one's breaking in on the right wing and I'm never gonna know.
Yeah, valid.
Whereas a smaller house like this, you obviously can hear just about everything.
I was trying to explain to my mom the other day, who's convinced that she's going to win the lottery one day, that she can't buy a really big house. Are you laughing because that's dad?
Yeah.
She can't buy a really big house because of the property taxes. And I was like, if you can afford the house, okay, but you can't afford the property taxes every year. So you cannot buy a massive house. She's like, nah, I'd buy a big house. I was like, and you would lose it. You would lose it.
Touche. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. No one ever thinks about that. They just think about buying the big ass house, but they never think about the property taxes that come with it.
That's kind of this. That's the same with cars. If you buy a luxurious car, it's okay, cool, but you're also going to get... I mean, my excise tax for the city was $500. I don't even have that, luxurious kind of car.
How much is your excise tax again?
$600.
You know what's crazy? Guess what my excise tax was?
$50.
$30.
Damn.
Hell
We
yeah.
overshot too.
My 2010
Crazy.
Hyundai Elantra. Yeah. I mean, not for long because I'm getting a new car soon, so I won't be able to brag about
We'll
that
be
anymore. But
twinsies.
It'll be $500.
No. It won't be
2019,
$500. Oh, maybe. Maybe like 400.
2019, 2020. Yeah, it's gonna be up there
you know, it'd actually be crazy if I just didn't register and I just drove it. No license
until you
plate.
get pulled over.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't have it. My sticker's expired. I just realized that today.
Oh, don't do that. You're gonna get pulled over.
Oh, you know, actually.
But I'm not driving my car on the road with an expired sticker because that's illegal.
You know what's actually crazy? Hypothetically, if my car hypothetically had a hypothetical rejection sticker from hypothetically 2021 that I hypothetically am still driving with, hypothetically,
I'm sorry?
you'd only get pulled over once.
She's talking about the car she has a Need for Speed.
Hypothetically.
Romeo's registration was expired for a week, and he only found out after he got into a car accident.
Oh.
I remember that.
Anyways.
And they said, oh, you should probably register your car. The cop.
That's funny.
You can do it online from your phone.
That's what I had to do for my car.
This podcast sponsored by
You know what's
Mascot.
actually crazy?
Not sponsored.
I actually didn't know that my registration actually expired too, and I didn't know for 2 months. So I was driving on an expired registration and a hypothetically expired,
Allegedly.
inspection sticker.
I don't know why, but I'm always like looking at my registration. So I
Not
always know
me.
when it
I'm like
expires.
out of sight, out of mind. And then I don't know why, but remember I told you I walked up to my car in my parking lot, my apartment's parking lot, and they put a sticker on it that said that it was abandoned, and I was like, the fuck you mean it's abandoned? I drive this shit every fucking day to go to work.
No, you didn't tell me that.
And then I walked, it said like expired registration. I was like, fuck you, it's not expired. And I went behind it was expired. I was like, anyway, we're going to be going into my story now if you guys are done.
No. All right, I'm ready. You have my full undivided attention until I get an email that I want to look at.
Yeah, I would know. Anyway, so today my category is going to be true crime. And my sources today are going to be FBI.gov website, Wikipedia.com, and History.com.
For what it's worth, my sources for my story were from Wikipedia.com, and all that's interesting.
And the Haunted Mansion.
And Disney's The Haunted Mansion
On DVD.
and Blu-ray. Buy it today at your local Target, Walmart, or really anywhere you buy your DVDs.
Not sponsored.
I'm funny.
I have a quick question for the class.
Oh.
How many bank robberies do you think happen in a
7.
year? Just a random guess.
Oh.
Just a random guess. Give me
In
a
a
random
year?
guess. In a year.
I'll say
Paul
about
said 7.
23.
No. I want to change my answer.
Okay. You can change.
Okay, so
I
there's
say
probably
23.
I'm gonna say there's 70 in a day. There's 365 days. That's a lot of math. We'll say 2,525.
What was your Stasia?
23.
A year or a day?
A year.
Okay. Well, good guesses. Right? I'll say good guesses.
Are they good guesses? Because they're very opposite.
Yeah, good guesses. No. According to the FBI website, in the year of 2021 alone, there was a total of 1,724
Yeah, get
bank
fucked.
robberies. You were still very. You were like
I didn't know.
almost twice
like
as
actual
much.
robberies, or is that
Bank robberies.
like
Like
successful?
people go in a bank and they say, "Give me your money."
It doesn't have to be successful to be a bank robbery.
Yeah, they didn't rob anything.
If
It
you
wasn't
go in
successful.
there,
If you go into a bank and you say, "Give me your money," and they say no, and you say, "Okay,"
it's
you're
still
gonna be-
attempted. Yes, it is.
that's attempted. It's not. It's not
It's
real.
the same thing. You
How
still
many
get charged
real
for
ones?
it. You still get charged for it. You
Successful.
still get charged for it. You still get charged for it.
I mean,
Successful.
sure, but
You were wrong, and you just have to live with that.
no,
Anyway.
that's fine. But
Oi, bruv,
I
we
want to
don't
know
agree with your-
what defines something as a bank robbery.
Also, a robbery is most likely to happen on a Monday, and it's
If
also
someone tried to attempt to murder you, are you murdered?
and also it's most likely to happen between the times of 3 and 6 p.m., which is the exact opposite of what I thought, because I assumed it'd be a Friday, and I assumed it would be very early in the morning.
Too much foot traffic.
Early in the morning on a Friday?
Yeah.
Sasha,
Yeah,
have
you-
you robbed a bank before?
You don't want to do it
Maybe
later
on
in the week
DB
because you have a lot of
Cooper.
people, and you definitely don't want to do it on the first of the month because I hear the first of the month is a very busy time.
Where do you hear that? In the Social Security office.
Did you say Social Security office?
Social Security office, yes. That's what checks come out on the first of the month. Social Security and Disability.
Oh.
You don't know about that?
Shout out. Shout out to Growing Up in Poverty. I almost hit my mic. Anyway. Okay.
Okay.
So today I want to talk about an infamous bank robbery. So infamous, in fact, that the phenomenon Stockholm Syndrome is named because of this incident. Today, we're going to be talking about the Norrmalmstorg, I think is how you pronounce it, robbery. It's a Swedish word, so let me just say right now, I don't speak Swedish.
Swedish?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is it. Yep.
Yep. So,
What's the word?
the Swedish word? Mm-hmm. It's long. You want me to spell it?
Yeah.
It has like 15 syllables in it.
Yeah.
Syllables? Letters? Ready?
Yeah.
Norrmalmstorg.
What was after S?
And before the G?
T-O-R.
N. G.
So it's MASTORG?
N-O-R-R.
No, not the beginning.
Oh, no, I'm starting at the beginning. N-O-R-R-M-A-L-M-S-T-O-R-G.
Oh, MST. Okay.
How do you pronounce that?
Can tell you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. In my head, it's like Norrmalmstorg.
You crying?
No, that's just my eyeball.
All right.
It's the glistening.
So if you didn't know, Stockholm Syndrome is a psychological phenomenon that is a coping mechanism. It usually happens in a captive/abusive situation, where hostages develop a psychological bond with their captors. I often joke with Kiwan that our cat Roxy has Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, here we go. You told me about this.
Because we just got her one day, and I just refuse to let her leave. And if she tries, I'm going to cry. All she knows is that I feed her, and that I give her little scratches, and she's like, you know what, man? You're all right. And she stays. So Roxy has Stockholm Syndrome. I'm convinced. Anyway. Our story today surprisingly takes place in Stockholm, Sweden.
Wow, shock.
Our main focus, though,
Sweden.
is going to be on...
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Our main focus today is going to be on John Erik Olsen.
Pick some Blowout.
Yoo-hoo, big That's true. That is true.
He is from Swedish, yeah?
Anyway, he was born.
That almost sounded German.
He was born in He was born in 1941, and he was born and raised in Sweden.
He was born when?
To save everybody the confusion, I'm just gonna call him Jan. I don't feel like saying his own name.
Sure, Jan.
What's his name?
Jan.
No, like...
Jan.
Okay.
And when was he born?
Jan.
No, when?
Jan.
In Jan.
Jan was born in Jan. I actually don't know.
No,
it doesn't specify the day he was born, but he was born in 1941.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I wanted.
So Jan was
give it to me.
Jan was a career criminal, and he was a repeat offender who had committed several armed robberies and acts of violence, the first when he was just 16 years old. When incarcerated at the Kalmar prison in Sweden, Jan met another criminal called Clark, and it's crazy because their last names look exactly the same. So I'm not going to say the last name. Jan's last name is like Olsson, and Clark, his last name is Olofsson. It like looks so similar. There's just an F.
Olsen and Olofsson?
Yeah, very similar. Anyway, he met Clark, and they became very fast friends. At some point in 1973, Jan got paroled from prison, and he just disappeared. But he was, indeed, outside the prison on January 7th of 1973, because Clark was attempting to escape. And Jan was going to be his getaway driver. It didn't work. He did not escape. It didn't work.
Cool.
On August 23rd, 1973, Jan entered what we have now come to the conclusion is just Swedish Credit Bank in Swedish. We did a lot of Googling off air. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, we're not going to try to pronounce it because, no.
Anyway, he entered this bank.
If we have any Swedish listeners that...
No, we have a Norway listener. I was going to say we do have a Swedish listener.
But if anyone just knows Swedish...
True, yeah. Let us know.
Let us know.
Because I can't do it, and I just don't know. Yeah.
How to say it, and we can sound clip you saying it and just insert it in the episode. Yeah. We'll pay you $1.
No,
50 cents. Take it or leave it.
Give him $1.
Fine.
Oh wait, 50 cents each of us. That's $1.
That's a whole $1.
I got $1. I got $1. I got $1. Hey, 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 hey.
So he enters his bank. And from underneath, when he walks in this bank, like he has a folded jacket on his arm. And so from underneath the folded jacket, he pulls out a loaded submachine gun.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah.
He fires at the ceiling, and disguising his voice in an American accent, he then cries out, in English, "The party has just begun," like a fucking psychopath. At some point of him screaming this in the bank, an employee hit the silent alarm, which alerted the police, obviously. An officer was actually injured, like when they responded to the call, because Jan opened fire on them. So he just was going in quite literally, guns a-blazing. Literally. He, Jan, then took 4 bank hostages who were employees of the bank. And their names are, and I'm going to butcher these, I am sorry. We'll say first names because first names are easier. Birgitta, Elizabeth, Kristen, and Svan.
Svan.
Kristen with an I-N, not an E-N.
Sven.
And he also had some demands.
Always do.
Sven, like from Frozen.
Yeah.
He had some demands. He demanded that his friend Clark, who I mentioned in the beginning of the story, be brought there, along with 3 million in Swedish and foreign currency, 2 guns, bulletproof vest, helmets, and a Ford Mustang. Are you built for tough?
Amazing that
You ever robbed a bank?
is
That's what it takes to be built for tough.
saying he's just throwing his friend under the bus. He's just like, no. So my dude Clark, yeah, he's a part of this. Bring him here. Bring him to me.
Imagine if he's like, nah, I don't want to go.
Yeah, imagine Clark just dipped out and said, nah, this isn't for me. And he's just like, no. Clark is part of it. Bring him here.
It seems like the reason that he wanted Clark to be there so bad was because he wanted to impress Clark. Because when they met in jail, Jan was in prison for like doing some robberies, like some like petty robberies or whatever. But like Clark apparently like had already robbed like big banks before.
Damn,
so
imagine Clark was like, nah, bro, I already started my time in jail. I ain't trying to go back. And they're like, no, bring him here. He's a part of this. Bring him to me.
So what I'm hearing
plot
is
twist.
He's in love with Clark.
Probably. Plot twist though. Believe it or not.
Almost.
They actually approved his demands.
Wow.
Giving him the fellow convict. So they brought Clark.
Where do you get a Ford Mustang casually?
Just a random dealership.
Yeah, what? That's
Hi,
not
can we borrow this?
Hey, we're actually
Basically.
taking this Ford Mustang.
Yeah. Isn't it the
We're
law?
the police.
Well, it might be different in Sweden, but isn't it the law in, like, in the United States if like they deem that something is like a national security threat, then they could just take it? Isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
I'm probably wrong. Whatever. So they gave him the fellow convict, the ransom money, and a blue Ford Mustang with a full tank of gas. They did refuse, though, the demand to leave with the hostages to ensure a safe passage. Jeez Louise. So to recap, Jan, Clark, and the 4 hostages are holed up in the bank safe. And while in the safe, this is when the hostages started forming a bond with their captors. During the first day, Jan draped a wool jacket over the shoulders of hostage Kristen when she was beginning to shiver. He soothed her when she had a bad dream and even gave her a bullet from his gun as a keepsake. We love that.
That's kind of
so
sweet.
I knew you were going to say. He consoled captive Britta when she couldn't reach her family by phone and told her, try again. Don't give up. When hostage...
We're not going to kill you.
When hostage Elizabeth complained of claustrophobia, he allowed her to walk outside the vault attached to a 30-foot rope. And Elizabeth told The New Yorker a year later that although leashed, quote, I remember thinking he was very kind to allow me to leave the vault. They're just crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like Stockholm Syndrome went into like full effect. I don't understand. Anyway, the male hostage Sven even said, quote, when he treated us well, we could think of him as an emergency god.
That's insane.
Yep. That's only in the first day.
There's more than one day?
This goes on for like days.
Damn.
Like 6 days, I think. It's like 6 or 7 days.
In the vault?
Yes.
Oh.
On the
Did they
second
be in
day.
there?
On the second day.
Did they bring them dinner?
I think they did actually. I think they left stuff outside the vault. So the first day was August 23rd. The second day, August 24th, the hostages were now on a first name basis with their captors. And they actually started to fear the police more than their abductors. The police commissioner was allowed inside to inspect the hostages' health, and he noticed that the captives appeared hostile to him, but more relaxed and like joke on like a joking level with their captors. I believe this next event is going to take place the next day, so on the 25th, but to be honest, there's not like a clear timeline for some things. It's just kind of like it happened throughout this time frame, and they just have these like random events. Kristen phoned the Swedish Prime Minister and said that she was very displeased with his attitude, while pleading with him to let the robbers take her in their escape car. saying, quote, "I fully trust Clark and the robber. I am not desperate. They have not done a thing to us. On the contrary, they have been very nice. And you know what I am scared of? What I am scared of.
That's like crazy, man.
I'm scared.
But you know what I am scared of is that the police will attack and cause us to die. The crazy thing, though, is that even when threatened with physical harm, the hostages still saw compassion with their abductors.
They threatened to hit them?
After Jan threatened to shoot Sven in the leg to shake up the police, Sven recounted to The New Yorker, quote, "How kind I thought he was at saying it was just going to shoot me in the leg."
Honestly?
That's actually crazy.
It is pretty kind.
No, it's not.
Kristen actually tried to convince him to take the bullet, saying, quote, "Sven, it's just the leg."
You can die.
Well, if you Google...
There's an artery in your leg.
Just Google major arteries.
They don't have Google back then.
Yeah, they don't have Google back then, so... shoot him in a toe?
On August 26th, so this is what?
Or a
Day
foot.
4. On August 26th, police drilled a hole into the vault from the apartment above and took a photograph of the hostages with Clark.
There's just an apartment above a vault.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like if you think about like Main Street in our hometown, how like there's that pizza place and then there's that apartment above it. I think it's kind of like that.
But that's still crazy to have just an apartment above a vault like that.
I don't live in Sweden. I don't make the rules.
Maybe you should.
You're right. So Jan would actually fire his weapon into this hole once he realized that it was there on 2 separate occasions, and he wounded a police officer in the hand and the face. It's not funny. Why are you laughing?
Stupid.
Just fuck around,
In
find
the
out,
hand.
you know?
No, they did fuck around, and let me tell you, they did find out. Another notable thing that happened in the vault was Clark walked around the vault and was singing Roberta. I think it's Roberta or Roberta. I don't know how it's pronounced. Flank's song, "Killing Me Softly."
That's a good song.
Killing me softly.
Yeah, so
with
however you, yeah, that song. Which is hilarious. Holding up a bank, walking around, killing me softly. Like, can't. I hate it's so funny.
Gotta pass the time somehow.
True.
On the night of August 28th, after 6 days and more than 130 hours, the police pumped tear gas into the vault, and they quickly surrendered, obviously.
Finally.
And I'm pretty sure they did this through the hole in the apartment, so I'm pretty sure they just did it through that hole.
Wait, so I missed something. So they got him the Ford Mustang and said, yeah, all yours, and they just didn't do anything with
They
it?
wouldn't let them leave because they wanted to leave with the hostages to ensure that the police would not shoot up the vehicle while they were leaving, which is something that the police probably would have done.
Gotcha.
I think since the hostages kind of sided with them, they should have shot them too. They're accomplices now.
So the
America.
police... Shut up. MAGA, am I right?
No.
So the police called for the hostages to come out after they did the tear gas and they surrendered, but the hostages refused. Kristen yelled, quote, "No, Jan and Clark go first. You'll gun them down if we do." And can I just say that Kristen seems very obsessed. So obsessed, actually, that the police actually were convinced that she was in on the planning of the robbery because she was obviously a bank employee. They all were. In the doorway of the vault, though, when they finally decided to come out all together, the convicts and the hostages embraced, kissed, and shook hands.
Imagine Kristen just makes out with Jan.
When they said kiss, I was like, who kissed? Who kissed?
Hello.
They didn't specify, yeah.
You want to know?
Thanks for keeping me hostage, bro. Yeah, I'll see you later.
Both the boys,
Sus.
all the boys kissed.
On the mouth.
Butt
With
sex.
tongue. Oh.
Oh.
Tongue to the butt?
As the police seized the convicts, 2 of the female hostages cried, quote, "Don't hurt them, they didn't harm us." When Kristen was wheeled away on a stretcher, she shouted to a handcuffed Clark, quote, "Clark, I will see you again." The attachment the hostages formed to their captors confused the police, the general public, and even themselves. The days following her release, Elizabeth asked a psychiatrist, quote, "Is there anything wrong with me? Why don't I hate them?" Which is valid, babe. Valid. Let's talk about it.
Coming back down.
Psychiatrists would compare the behavior to the wartime shell shock exhibited by soldiers, explaining that the hostages became emotionally indebted to their captors and not to the police for being spared death. So basically, they're happy that they didn't get killed, but instead of being happy at the police for making sure they were safe, they were happy that their captives didn't kill them. So that made them form a relationship with them. Within months of the siege, psychiatrists would dub the strange phenomenon, quote, Stockholm Syndrome. Even after Jan and Clark returned to prison, the hostages visited them regularly. And in appeals court, they actually overturned Clark's conviction because he technically wasn't actually part of the robbery. He was just called in and got sucked into it. But Jan spent years behind bars before being released in 1980. Once freed, Jan married one of the many women who actually sent him admiring letters while he was imprisoned. And he moved to Thailand and in 2009 released the autobiography entitled Stockholm Syndrome. And that, my lovelies, is the story of the infamous case that coined the phenomenon that my cat has.
You just had to fucking end it.
I love
like
how you
that.
guys were like so into the story, and then I said the last line, and you both scoffed and rolled your eyes. Anyway, that's Stockholm Syndrome. Are you going to be honest with me, and you're going to tell me that our animals don't have Stockholm Syndrome?
No.
Just think about Luca. They just randomly took Luca from a litter of puppies from away from his mother and brought him home, and he has to deal with it. Stockholm Syndrome.
That is true.
That's what I'm saying, right?
We're essentially like his captors, and he's just like, I love you.
And he's like, you feed me every day, and you give me snuggles, and he's just happy about it.
Because, you know, the first few weeks, puppies are really sad because like, I miss my litter mates, my mom. And then they're just like, well, actually, you give me a nice place to sleep and some food and some pets and some cuddles. I could live with this. And then...
That's how I feel about Roxy because I make her...
who are adopted?
Yes.
Yes. Well, it depends on what age they're adopted at. Because...
What age?
Well, if you think about, like, Gianna when she was born, if she just, like, got adopted as soon as she was fresh out the womb, like, she would have no memory of you. So, like, she would only think of that one person.
I disagree.
You think? All right. Anyway, my cat has Stockholm Syndrome. Your dogs have Stockholm Syndrome. These people have Stockholm Syndrome.
My children have Stockholm Syndrome.
Hello?
You know who has Stockholm Syndrome? Gianna. She actually does because you leave the room and she freaks the fuck out. She's like, my mother!
I don't know if that's Stockholm Syndrome.
It's something, let me tell you.
I don't think what you're looking for is Stockholm Syndrome, though.
What would you call it then?
Not that. So, I like the story a lot because I actually never knew the backstory of Stockholm Syndrome.
It's very interesting, yeah. And it's funny because... Are you okay?
No, she hit her funny bone. Oh.
You said something earlier, and I said, like, put a pin in it about, like, robbing a bank, and that's why, because it was a story.
I don't remember any of that. Oh, with the airplane.
Yeah, and then someone said Stockholm Syndrome in that last story, and I was like, oh, I can't say anything, because that's part of my next story, and it's this one, that's why.
Huh.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I liked it. Good job.
Thanks.
Great story.
Everything's all connected.
I love that you guys let me fly through that one, and you didn't cut me off like you did for the last one.
Honestly...
You guys seemed very engaged,
I lost a lot of my energy after the first one.
I'm glad. You guys seemed very engaged, at least when I, like, looked at my iPad, you were like, wait a second, that's interesting. So it seemed like it was...
Sure. I really enjoyed that story.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we both didn't know anything about the origin of the Stockholm Syndrome.
I found it out
I've heard it before, but...
Yeah, I found it out by listening to a podcast. Because I was, like... Obviously, it's, like, something I joke about so often. I really do say that Roxy has Stockholm Syndrome all the time. And so I was like, wait a second. I heard it on the podcast, and I was like, that's fucking crazy. I was like, they were in the bank for 6 days, and they had got Stockholm Syndrome. Crazy.
And now here we are. You're talking about it and telling us, and now we know about it.
And now you have Stockholm Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Our employers gave us
Get Stockholm Syndrome.
It's like Oprah. Our employers gave us Stockholm Syndrome.
Anyways, that's all I got.
Oh, because you're bonded. You're trauma bonded together.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
I love that Stasia got that, but you didn't.
I wasn't paying attention. I could be fully transparent there.
At first, I thought you meant like your current job. So at first,
I mean, it could be the current job as well. Let's be honest.
We're going that route.
Yeah.
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 That's just life.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
We'll get over it.
Yeah.
Until we find a new job.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's all we have.
Oh,
Thanks for visiting. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Everything is coming together. Oh. Bye.
You can find us on anywhere you listen to your podcast at in your ear holes.
Whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio,
Grindr,
Christian Mingle, Tinder, Bumble,
ChristiansMeet.com.
I was about to say Humble because I was thinking of Hinge, and then there was just
Bumble.
Whatever. Yeah, wherever you listen to your podcast,
FarmersMeet.com, ChristiansMeet.com, BlackPeopleMeet.com, Plenty of Fish, Match.com, eHarmony. Oh,
Omegle. Oh my God, Chat Roulette.
Oh my God, Kick.
Oh.
WhatsApp.
What's that?
What's up?
Anyways, or you can follow us on our socials. Instagram, Twitter is going to be at isntthatoddpod. Facebook is going to be at isntthatoddpodcast. So yeah, follow us on our socials. If you want to email us some stupid stuff, isntthatoddpod@gmail.com. Whether you have your own stories you want to talk about, or we have in our link tree a Google Doc where you can let us know any true crime, conspiracy, paranormal story that you know that you want us to talk about that we haven't talked about yet. Maybe we'll talk about it in a future episode. What?
Stop staring at me. 1, 2. Before I forget, we have a bunch of different listeners from like all over the place. So we have some countries, like different countries. Please tell me who you are and where you're from. I'm curious. Thank you.
Yeah, just email us. Tell us where you're from.
You don't have to email.
What's your name, age, location?
You could just comment. You could just comment it. Anyway, that's it.
But yeah, that's all we have. Thank you for tuning in this week on.
Isn't that
We're not at that part. We're not at that part yet.
Isn't that odd pod?
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Isn't That Odd Pod. We had a lot of fun making it. Hoping you had fun listening to it. And we'll hopefully see you next week because you love us.
Hopefully.
And you have no
it's
choice but
currently
to
8
love
o'clock
us.
and we started at 4:30.
Anyways.
Stacia just broke the fourth wall.
We're just going to end this because we're going completely off rails.
Okay,
so
don't be a dick.
Don't be a douchebag.
Be a menace.
Be a menace to society.
Say
do
bye,
good,
Stacia.
Be chaos.
Bye.
Thanks, Stacia, for coming again. You know,
Thanks
coming
again for
We'll see you in
having
the
me
future.
again.
Maybe we'll think about it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.